So you want to learn how to properly play Pulse. Pulse can be one of the best operators in the game. So let me show you how to use him. So the first thing you have to do to learn how to play Pulse is to learn how to throw C4s. Because using the C4 on Pulse is basically hand in hand with his ability. So you gotta learn how to use your C4, you gotta know when to use it, you gotta know how to use it. You gotta make sure that you don't mess up your throws.
Op 4 has a 20 on the hostage. Hostage captured by Op 4.
Now, another important tip for Pulse is you always gotta be aware of your surroundings, because as Pulse, if they know you're on the board, they're gonna be trying to flank you and kill you, you know? So you always gotta be aware of your surroundings when you play as Pulse, so that way those operators flanking up on you don't get you.
Ooh.
Now, the next thing to remember when you play Pulse is to remember that you're pretty good at countering shields, because you got C4, and not a lot of operators now are having C4s. So you always got to remember, if you hear a shield, you might want to save your C4 for them, or you can use it on an easy pick, but just always be aware that you're a pretty good counter to shields.
5, Op 4 has visual on the hostage. Hostage KIA.
An important thing to remember with Pulse is that Pulse is a really fun operator to play because you can goof off with him. Pulse, his heart rate detector looks exactly like a low camera, so you can use it to take photos of the other operators, you know? And you should always try and keep these photos, you know, nice and friendly and chill. You know, some people, they go way overboard with these, but you should just try and have fun with it. You know, you're playing Pulse. Clearly, you don't want to win. Using Pulse, you want to try and keep where the enemies are inside of your heart rate detector, so that way you know where they are and you can provide callouts for your team. So you want to kind of keep up with your enemies. If you're playing from below, you kind of want to move with them, making sure you're aware of your surroundings. You can see heartbeats, so you can see if somebody's coming up to you through a wall, but if you stay below them, you can maybe get a C4 kill, or you can provide intel to your team. And in Rainbow Six Siege, intel is basically everything. If you don't have intel, it's going to be harder to play the game, and Pulse can provide that. So that's when he's nice to use. So try and stick with the enemy, make sure you follow them. Plus, if you don't know where they are, they could be sneaking up on you when you're trying to rotate or something, and you don't have your heart rate monitor out. So just always try and keep up with your enemies.
Op 4 has eyes on the hostage. Op 4 secured the hostage.
you're using Pulse, you have to decide what you want to use for your loadout. It's really between the UMP and the M1014. The M1014 isn't a great shotgun, and the UMP isn't a great SMG, and you don't have any magnified optics at all. So it can be a little difficult to pick. I like using the M1014 on border and other maps where the floor destruction is there and you can break open the floor to get a kill or throw your C4 through. That's where the M1014 is nice. But if you're on a bigger map, the M1014 isn't really good, and you're not going to be using your pistol that much, so it is better to pick the UMP, even though it has a slow fire rate, no magnified optic, slow reload. Not really a great SMG to use, but if you do use the M1014, make sure you are utilizing the fact that you have full destruction and you can easily make holes through the floor or holes through walls. Always use that to your advantage, because why pick the shotgun if you're not gonna do that? I mean, I feel like there's no point then. So, and it depends on the bomb site, and it does depend on the map whether the UMP or the M1014 is better, and it does depend on your skills, but you will learn which one to pick in the situation once you get better. So, I hope you guys had fun watching us. Pulse is one of the best operators to play, and he's really fun to play. He's a nice little 3-speed, he can get around quick. The only problem with him is his guns. I think he does deserve the ACOG on his UMP, and he may need a secondary machine pistol, because using the shotgun just isn't really viable. But overall, Pulse is a great operator. He can provide a lot of intel to the team. He can get a lot of picks in game. So he's overall just a great operator to play. And Pulse is really useful on almost every bomb site, because, you know, telling where the enemy's location is always important. So Pulse is one of the greatest picks that you can get. So always use Pulse when you can.